Hey, I'm Mark,
And I'm Chris.
and we're the leftovers.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
I did not agree to that.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Mark.
What's happening?
Didn't I ask you last week?
I
not
don't.
To do
It
that?
doesn't matter. It's a great day.
It
Good
is.
day, Chris. Come on, man. Let's get happy about this deal.
Oh, good.
Good stuff.
It is a good day. We are alive.
Yes, it is. You know what I want to ask you about today?
I do know what you want to ask
Grass. Kentucky bluegrass.
me about. Okay, that's different.
Paul Fescue. St. Augustine grass.
There's way
Rye.
too many different types of grass.
Grass. Red fescue. I didn't know there was such a thing.
I
There's
mean,
red fescue.
is Kentucky blue
Grass
actually
green.
blue? It's green.
Yeah. Just a label.
Where did blue come from?
It's a label. You know, Kentucky bluegrass, like the bluegrass music.
Yeah, I don't like that music anyway. So
Yeah. You know what they say, chocolate and vanilla.
yes, I know you're very much vanilla.
Chocolate. Chocolate Rocky Road. Yes, chocolate-ish. Chocolate brownie. Ooh, I had some Kit Kat ice cream the other day. Tastes nothing like a Kit Kat.
Yeah,
I was hoping,
you can hope.
Yeah.
Hope in one hand,
did.
poop in the other, and see which
See
one
which
fills
one
up first.
fills up first. That's almost what the Kit Kat ice cream tastes like. The Dollar General, that's all they had.
Yeah.
Had a late
Beggars
night.
can't be choosers.
Had a late night craving, and the Dollar General had Kit Kat ice cream. Ugh.
Yeah, late night around 7:00.
It's a little later than that.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7:30.
Kentucky bluegrass, tall fescue, St. Augustine, rye, Bermuda. There's a good one. Bermuda's used on a lot of football fields.
I'm wondering where you're going with naming all these different types of grass.
We'll get there. Hold on for the ride, Chris.
I figured we'd get there instead of naming off more.
Well, I have a thing. I have a thing here. A thing. Theme.
I was about to say,
Thing.
theme.
Theme thing.
I wonder what it is.
Theme
Maybe
thing.
the fact that they're all grass.
Theme thing.
Theme thing?
It's a theme thing.
Are we just adding lisps to our...
Theme thing. No, it's a theme thing. Theme thing.
Theme thing?
Theme thing.
Sorry about
So
that.
these are all grasses that I just listed. Right?
Okay.
So think about this. Think about this theme thing. What is a lawn without grass?
Dirt.
Mud pit. Not very appealing, right?
Not if it hadn't rained, then it's just
Well,
dirt.
I was thinking of it in the wintertime. Mud. Sloppy mud.
Not very appealing.
No, just, yeah. Yeah. Walking on a freshly cut lawn, you can't hardly beat that, right? Springtime, cool grass, warm in the air. That's awesome. Walking around without any grass on your lawn, ugh, it's just not fun. Although, some people like to walk in the lawn without shoes on. Not me.
Why not?
I gotta have my shoes on. Yeah. So, a lot of football fields, as I mentioned earlier, Bermuda grass is highly sought after. Southern states
Because it can take a beating and
can, and boy, it grows good when it's hot. As soon as it cools down, it's brown.
yes, it is.
So a lot of football fields now are going with, and have for years, but they've improved the artificial stuff that they make.
Oh, there's a big thing going on about artificial turf right now.
It is greatly improved from what it was
From what
in the
it was.
80s. The 80s had a concrete field with a little quarter-inch carpet on top of it.
Yep.
Greatly improved. So out of the 32 football teams in the NFL, how many have artificial grass?
Isn't it like 9 or 10 of them?
14.
No, I was wrong.
And the article I read apparently was out of date because they did not have the Tennessee Titans as artificial grass users, and they are. So 15,
Artificial grass or turf?
Yes. You can call it grass, you can call it turf. Today we're going with grass for a reason. So 15 out of the 32 teams have artificial grass. And the Tennessee Titans actually use coconut husk and cork on their grass instead of those little rubber pellet things, you know? Are you over there? Are you awake?
I'm listening.
Are you awake? Come with me, man.
I
Have
am.
a conversation.
I'm listening and I'm
14
letting
of
you
them.
finish your...
Rant that will never end, Chris.
I'm letting you finish before I interrupt you again like I usually do.
15 of the 32 football teams use artificial grass. Okay.
You're not talking to yourself. I'm
I
right
feel
here.
like it. I feel like it.
Why? Because I'm looking
sometimes.
something up to go
And
along with our conversation while you're speaking.
Grass. Grass is green. Grass is nice. Grass of another name. Mary Jane. Kush. Purple haze. Skunk.
Marijuana.
Charlotte's Web. I never heard some of
I've
these.
never heard that.
White Widow. There's one.
Is that a kind of marijuana or is that...
This says its names, so I don't use, so I don't know.
Some of those sound more like the
particular,
names of the strands.
like Cheetos is a potato chip,
Sort of, yeah.
but it's a Cheeto, sort of.
Well, you get people that, I mean, just like with any other plant, there are people out there that have cultivated different types of marijuana plants to have certain...
Purple haze, for instance. I'm guessing that's a specific style
specific
of
kind
grass.
grow. But I mean, you're also the people that cultivate that certain strand also have the rights to make the name for it, and so they come up with these stupid names like Purple Haze.
Sour diesel. Sour diesel.
It's also a stupid name.
Give me some of that sour diesel. Well, we're going with grass because that's the theme today. Grass.
I thought the theme for the day was marijuana.
Yeah, grass. Same. We'll go with same.
But no, it's not the same, though.
Oh, yeah?
Because when you talk about grass,
Grass.
majority of people...
Skunk.
When you say grass, majority of people will think about
Hash.
the grass on the lawn. They won't think that you're outright just talking about pot.
Kush. Kush. Funny. Do you know roughly, how many Americans, because that's what we are, smoke marijuana?
Say about 30%.
18.
No, I overestimated.
That was a 2019 poll.
So it's probably gone up since then.
Or you would be surprised because the 2021 poll says
14.
16% of Americans smoke kush grass.
I guess I could see that. Because from
I can't
2019...
I can't land on a name I want to go with today.
Just call it pot.
Pot. I really like that one. But we'll go with it.
But I could see the number dropping, especially since COVID came in and it is a...
You think the number would go lower after COVID?
Yeah.
Really?
Mainly because of, I mean, it is
Supply? Don't get high on your own supply.
No, I mean,
Chris?
COVID was a respiratory disease.
Yeah, I didn't look at it from
except
that.
except for edibles, which is
Right, we're
not
getting to
usually
that.
what you think about.
We're getting to that.
The majority of pot usage is inhale through
Inhaling.
smoke,
Yep.
which would be bad for the lungs.
Do you know the percentage of Americans as of 21 who smokes cigarettes percentage. How many Americans smoke cigarettes?
20.
11. That's crazy. That's low. That's good. I think the lower the better.
Since is that a survey from 21?
21. Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it would have been like in
Prior.
19, just like the other
Well,
one.
funny you should ask. 1960s, 45% of Americans smoked cigarettes.
That was what year?
1960s.
1960s.
Yeah.
So that was back when cigarette commercials were actually allowed in the U.S. And I mean,
Doctors were smoking in the offices.
doctors recommended this
Yeah.
type of cigarette. This kind of cigarette's all right for pregnant women.
You say, I
I did not say I said all
did.
right.
I thought it sounded funny. You're not laughing, though.
No, I'm not.
I
Because usually, most of the time when you say that,
I
you're
was
making
thinking
fun
of a
me for
rapper.
saying it.
There was a rapper that used to say that. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
I can't come up with his
there's
name.
a lot of rappers that say
Use that. That's just what went through my mind.
But going off of rappers and going back to what I was talking about,
pot,
well, seeing as how that is the topic for the day,
it is
because
grass.
we started off with grass and moved to pot.
Started out for grass,
But then we also
and
moved to cigarettes.
Grass.
We were talking about how
smoking,
smoke. We were talking about
inhaling marijuana.
We were talking about how doctors were even okaying it and not prescribing it, but giving their okay for it. But as we've gone throughout history and with new science, we've learned how detrimental cigarette smoking is to our bodies.
Yep, but still, people do
But
it.
people do it. I mean, but
Do you know why people start smoking marijuana? Some reasons.
I mean, I could think of a few reasons, but give me the.
Curiosity,
Yeah,
pressure,
I see that.
peer pressure,
Yeah.
wanting to fit in, peer pressure. Just not, and usually, marijuana smoking is started early. It's not like someone gets to their 60s and decide, hey, let's light one up.
Not usually, no. But I can. So when you have people when you have people tell you the detriments of smoking, but they still do it, it's because
They can't stop.
well, it's not that. I mean, it's like your first cigarette.
Addiction,
It is an addiction.
meaning you can't stop. Just what I said the first time.
But I said when people start, they are told about how bad it is, but they still do it anyways. And it's not a humongous taboo because, I mean, you can see anybody on outside or even in their car going down the road, see somebody smoking a cigarette.
Just don't see a lot of people out smoking cigarettes anymore. Maybe that's where I'm at.
Because vaping takes a hold.
Vaping, that's not as big as it once was, but still a
It's
thing.
still, I mean, more people do it because
The middle schools are rampant.
But what I was getting at though with vaping is seen to be more.
Cool.
No, I won't say cool.
I would.
I mean, I guess you.
I
could.
think someone's cool that blows a big smoke
what
out of
I'm
their
trying to get
mouth.
at is,
Poof.
but the majority of people don't get as mad about vaping
Yeah.
than to do about cigarette smoke. Just
I do.
with
I
vape-
don't want them to blow it all over me.
I don't either, but at the same time, though, if you walk into somebody's vape cloud, majority of the time it doesn't smell like burning tar.
No, it's a
It'll
whole
have-
different smell,
Which
but way more dangerous.
I wouldn't say way more.
Way more dangerous.
People have done many a studies. Some say that it is. Some say that it's not. We don't actually have definitive proof because
Tomato.
no, it's not necessarily tomato because tomato is saying that this thing is the exact same thing, but with a different view. What I'm going at is both people are seeing different views and saying two different things. There are people that are saying it's not as dangerous as smoking. There's another group out there that is fighting against vaping and saying that it is so much more dangerous than smoking.
Tomato. What you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is tomato cucumber.
Oh, I bet you would. You did.
What I found out this week is my mother listens to this. Quit that.
You just said it. Curiosity, peer pressure, wanting to fit in. Some say, though, anxiety, stress, depression are reasons for starting.
Because everywhere you hear about it, it's to help people
relax,
zone out.
Yeah,
they call it relaxing, but I mean, everywhere that I see it being portrayed, or when I've seen it used in real life, it's not really to relax you; it's to help you zone out, which is, in my view, is completely different than just relaxing. When you're relaxing, you're still in the moment, but you're not all tense. Whereas when you're zoned out, you're not even there. You're somewhere else in your head.
That is one way to look at it.
That's my way to look at it.
That is a way to look at it.
And
so, edibles. You mentioned them earlier.
Yes.
And I'm going to mention them right now again. So the level of THC inhaled is somewhere upwards of 60%. An edible THC percentage is somewhere around 10 to 20%. So less of a high, I'm guessing, and less harmful, well, not harmful at all to your lungs.
Well, when you said the percentages of THC, they're again going with depending on the strain of marijuana or pot that you get.
What about the strain?
I mean, that's where I was going at. I've seen, there was a documentary that I watched about these pot shops opening up in...
Pot shop.
When Colorado was making
pot shop.
When Colorado was making it legal, how they were going from the medicinal to the recreational, and talking about all the different strands that they have and how they buy it from people. There are certain licensed people. Actually, I don't. Yeah, they were licensed. They had the license to grow the plants, and so they would cultivate it to have, whether or not it was a higher or lower THC content, or, I mean, the different properties of it. So they've got some that'll supposed to keep you awake, some that's supposed to help you fall asleep, some that's supposed. So I mean, people have cultivated.
Sounds really specific. I mean, you know, if you know that much of the crop you're growing, meaning you smoke this or you eat this, then it's going to make you stay awake more, or this is going to make you more drowsy, or this is going to make you less intense. You know, that sounds really specific. I know very little about the crop, and just what I've read recently, because really I have never been interested in it. But I heard a rodeo program the other day. Radio program the other day that was talking about federal legalization of marijuana. And at the present time, it's up to the states. And
technically, it's not. Technically, it is illegal federally, but it's whether or not the federal government will prosecute, which is very unlikely.
That's something they have discussed highly about changing and how to classify marijuana. I know, you know, it's like any other argument. If you are a user or wannabe user, You think it's crazy how it's illegal, something that's going to quote unquote help you. You think it's crazy what it's classified with. You're saying you can use cocaine, you can use marijuana, and you get treated the same. That's wrong. That's for users. Now, for people that are outside of the user group, you're saying, sure, keep it illegal, classify it with heroin or with this drug or that drug.
There's more groups than just that.
Well, if the article I had read last was saying that cocaine users are, and I didn't write this down, I'm going off the top of my head.
Oh no.
Well, you won't have to worry about my hair holding me down. That cocaine users, if you were caught with X amount of cocaine, that you would spend less time in prison than X amount of marijuana. And just between you and I, do you think, and this is just a personal opinion, that someone caught with a half pound of grass, marijuana, pot, should be treated with whatever that looks like in the cocaine world, the heroin world? I don't know what that equals.
The same amount,
relatively. If
a half pound of marijuana is
yeah
substantial compared to a half pound.
No, not even a half pound of cocaine, but whatever equals the. I don't know if it's this much or this. I don't know. But do you think they should be treated the same? Legally,
I don't think marijuana, in my opinion, I don't believe that marijuana should be I don't think it should be categorized as it is, because
that is something they're looking to change. A class 1 versus a class 3 drug. So
honestly, with the way we've gone about marijuana, the things that we've learned about marijuana, I believe it should be sort of like alcohol.
Sort of.
I mean, you have people fighting for. I've heard there's a group in California fighting to be able to smoke pot while you drive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're intoxicated.
You're
losing inhibitions.
You're high.
And that's where I think that's kind of where I'm at. Of okay, if you want to do it, either do it at home or do it at these specific. I mean, we've got bars for drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't? I mean, we've got hookah bars.
How do you go from the bar to the house?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with alcohol. How does somebody go?
That's what I was talking about.
And I mean, there's a limit that you can have a buzz, but there again.
I mean, I don't drink, and I'm going to guess if Joe Schmo was at the local place drinking, and maybe 2 would be his limit, but he's hanging out with his buddies. They're chilling and they're drinking 3 and number 4.
There again comes at with marijuana or with smoking in general, you have that secondhand ability to get
high,
secondhand smoke.
Yeah.
So even if you're not actually smoking, you can get the secondhand that can still affect you.
Mm-hmm.
And
no secondhand alcohol.
No, you can't. If you're drunk, it's because you drank that alcohol. It's not because the guy right next to you was slamming them down left and right.
You got sprinklered.
Yeah. So there, I mean that's why there's so many complexities with
There is.
marijuana.
And again, this is just your opinion,
Yes,
my
it
opinion.
is my opinion.
And
Oh,
we're due that. We're smart enough to have a formed
it's
opinion.
not something that I want to do.
Oh, it ain't what you told me.
What I said is I've thought about it.
I thought we was talking about the edibles.
I've never done an edible.
No.
But
I know older people that are interested, haven't tried it, but interested in the effects because of aches and pains
Yep.
and that kind of thing.
That's where the medicinal came into.
Yeah.
This became a big deal as I was growing up with the whole making it.
You talking about? You still growing up?
When I was in elementary to middle to high school, it was the big deals of they're going to start doing medical marijuana.
Yeah.
It's like, and being from the family I was in,
Still are. Still in it.
Yes, I'm still a part of the same family. But, I mean, as I was saying, when I'm younger, I don't really have my own views on things. I'm still growing and learning.
You learning.
And I've now come up with the view of it that I have from seeing it from all different angles.
Yeah. And I haven't got to the age to where I hurt 24 hours a day yet. I'm sure it's coming. Hope not. So, I might consider, who knows? Have you ever took like
I've never took
pain
nothing.
medicine, something like you had some work done on your mouth and had some pain medicine to take?
Yes, I've taken pain medicine.
And your ideas about that?
It didn't affect me.
Didn't affect you. Yeah.
Do you remember, I guess it was a year or so ago when I was having...
I remember a
teeth
year or
work.
so ago.
When I was having the work done on my teeth because my teeth were hurting all the time.
That was longer ago than that, though, wasn't it?
Possibly, I don't remember. Yeah,
it's like
it was because it was
3 years ago.
No, it was at most 2.
Before your daughter?
It wasn't before my daughter.
You already had her?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was at most 2 because of the time frame. But I can remember taking oxycodone.
Mm-hmm.
Did nothing. Take it.
So Oxy, not Hydra. You sure it was Oxycodone?
I'm positive it was Oxy.
Okay.
I've taken hydrocodone too.
Yeah, it's weaker.
Yes.
Well, the reason I say, because I had a long-term injury for 3 years, and I was taking hydrocodone, and without it, I don't know that I could have survived. I'll be honest. I'm not a medicine taker. I don't like taking medicine. I hate it. But without that at that time, I don't know if I could have survived. I might have chewed on a gummy or something if it was available. I don't know.
Because it's supposed to relieve the pain center nerves going.
And I had constant 24-hour hurt.
Yep.
And so before my surgeries, they would prescribe that stuff you took, the oxycodone.
Yep.
And man, knocked me for a loop. But it had its effects that,
it did what it
you were
was
going to
supposed
feel
do.
better, but you're going to have some side effects from it as well.
I've heard people all the time, oh, why would these people ever get addicted to this? Why would they ever take this? It's because it makes them feel good.
Sure.
That's the whole point.
That's the idea.
That's the whole thing about these drugs is it makes people feel good.
Yep.
They're either hurting, they've got something going on.
Might want to get away from
Might
something.
want to get away, get out of their own heads.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. And you can talk about a heroin user or a marijuana smoker or a alcoholic all you want. But would you want to walk around in their head from what they're trying to get away from? I wouldn't.
no.
I'm glad that I don't have an addiction to a drug. I'm addicted to Kit Kats or energy drinks, but that still has its that has its own problems as well.
Yep.
But I was reading that long-term use of grass, marijuana,
Just call it pot.
pot, kush, purple haze.
Continue with your statement, please.
Have you ever heard of any long-term use problems of marijuana? Usually it's glorious. It doesn't hurt anything. Everybody should smoke. I don't think they say
No, I mean, there was a movie that, what was it? They were making fun of Johnny.
Pineapple Express.
No, they were making fun of Johnny Cash. They had the second guy from Talladega Nights, the guy's best friend. He was like the Johnny Cash character. He walks in on his girlfriend and black dude smoking a joint. There's like, you don't want to be a part of this, man. Get out of here. He's like, oh, do I not? Is it very addictive? No, it's not addictive at all. Oh, so it's going to have terrible health effects for me? No, there's no terrible health effects.
That's the idea behind marijuana, though.
But that's what.
But you think just on the front end of it, inhaling a carcinogen smoke into your lungs, does that even sound healthy? No.
And inhaling anything other than oxygen and carbon dioxide
is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so on purpose, inhaling that. But, the after effect is, hey, I'm going to be high. I'm going to get away from my hurt, whether that's physical or mental. And I'll just have to deal with it. But like I was reading about long-term use. And
nice burp.
Said a 2013 study of long-term use had diseases associated with liver, lungs, heart, vascular, circulation, that sort of thing. It could affect, depending on you, like your mom and dad, they have health issues they've inherited from,
Correct.
Their people. And so you've got those as well.
Sadly, yes.
And so, so if you have a weakened lung capacity just because you inherited it,
or it happened from COVID now,
or from COVID. So if you've got something weakened or just hanging on by a thread anyway, you throw in long-term use of marijuana and it could send it over the edge.
But I mean, at the same time, those are the same effects you would get from smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, but this program's not about cigarettes.
No, but what I'm trying to get at
100%.
is it's the same effect. It's some of the same effects as smoking cigarettes. It just shows that smoking in general is not good.
Mm-hmm. What about the gummy side, the edibles?
Do we have studies on how that affects the
body? I don't think
body?
enough. I don't think.
No,
but again, I don't know. I don't know everything.
You don't?
But Google does.
You try to tell me all the time you know everything.
Well, that just shows you I don't.
Yeah, and you call yourself Mr. Truth.
Yes.
Like you're the only one that knows the truth.
No, I do tell the truth, though. And people will use that against you. But when they come to you for an answer and they know you're going to answer truthfully, man, it's tough.
It might be the truth, but sometimes it's wrong.
Hey, it's my truth. Here we go.
That's
different.
That's a whole nother podcast. We're not going into that crap.
Yeah. So, long-term use marijuana could cause your already existing problems to be 100 times worse. Good.
But that's what. But okay, saying that about marijuana, I understand that the conversation is about marijuana, but that's just with smoking anything. So putting that solely on marijuana.
That's what the show's about.
But you're putting that solely on marijuana.
Smoking heroin will cause long-term cardiovascular problems if you've already got it.
Do you smoke heroin?
You can.
Okay.
You can smoke pretty much anything.
I know smoking meth.
You do? Tell us about it.
I've never done it.
Breaking Bad.
Well, there's Breaking Bad, but I also have
Here's my extent of
Well,
meth.
I've had a family member that struggles with that addiction as well.
You know, any addiction that you know about, drug use, alcohol, prescription drugs, Coca-Cola.
Stop it.
As you drink one from a glass bottle.
Just because Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it.
Just because. But any kind of overuse is not good. I can think of one.
What about overuse of the Bible? Is that bad?
We were talking about substances, but...
The Bible is a substance.
Well, yes. Yeah.
I just want to...
I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But overeating, over drug, over alcohol, you can overdrink water.
Yeah.
You know? So a glutton for anything is not good.
Well, I mean, that is sin in the Bible, gluttony.
Gluttony, yeah. And I'm guilty of gluttony.
We all are.
When I find something I like, i.e. Kit Kat, I'll eat the large one.
The extra big ones?
The $3 one.
Yeah, the ones that you put in like the enlarging machine and it becomes bigger.
Man. Oh, man. So, we have talked about marijuana today. We have. Have we not?
Yes.
Was it funny? Do we have something funny on that side of the table, Chris?
There's a lot of things.
Share
funny.
it with the listeners.
Funny on this side of the table.
Share it with the listeners. Come on. Share it with the listeners. What's funny?
Continue.
That's what I thought. All right. When we try to handle things ourselves, right? We've got an issue. We've got a problem. And we say, you know what? I don't need a doctor. I don't need a therapist.
I don't need help with nothing.
I've got this. I got this handled. Go drink me a couple of drinks and I'll be fine. Go smoke me a couple of marijuanas. I'll be fine.
Well, I mean, then you also have the people that have the view of this is my problem. I don't want to put it off on anybody else.
Hey, guilty.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it myself.
Very guilty.
I mean, I have a problem with something. It's not for me. Oh, good Lord. It's not for me.
He is good.
It's not for me to. It's not for me to put off on somebody else to deal. Oh my God.
Mine too.
Can I go one episode without you miming something like that?
We need video.
No, we don't. No one needs to see what.
Yes. Say it, Chris.
No one needs to see you pantomiming. So,
when we help ourselves, what were you saying?
You made me lose my train of thought. I was over there trying to have a very poignant thing to say, so I was trying to.
It was poignant.
I was trying to
make a point.
Distract myself so I didn't see you, but out of my peripheral vision, seeing your pantomimes, I lost my train of thought. So it's your turn.
So when someone smokes to get away from their problems, is that healthy?
No.
So if a doctor says, hey, Chris, smoke 2 joints a week and come back to see me next month, is that okay? Of course, that's hypothetical, but I'm just saying. If you hear it from a physician that you can eat 1 edible a week for 3 months, is it okay then? Or just because the physician said it?
Who am I to say?
You are you to say.
I am myself, but...
What do you think? That's okay at that point? The physician knows more...
A physician does know more, but...
About you or just about situations?
The situation. I mean, they can...
They're like, okay, Chris is depressed. Chris is this. Chris is that. So I've checked this box, and this box. That equals 1 edible a week. So you would be good with that?
Myself, no.
But what if you had access to get them yourself?
What do you mean?
Edibles. Marijuana. THC, whatever. Edibles.
I get that, but
And then you got a sack of them. I don't know how they come. And you ate 3 of them. And you're like, man, that blasted me off my chair. We'll try 2. And then we'll try 1. And then maybe you were hooked on them. I don't know. But you take.
But I've always been told that marijuana is non-addictive.
Have you been told that?
Yes, I have.
Actions themselves are addictive. You know, I've known people to smoke cigarettes, and even though they're not smoking, they do the action of smoking. And so it's not so much the inhaling of the, what do you get out of a cigarette? We've been talking about
The
marijuana, nicotine. And it's not so much the nicotine as it is the habit of smoking itself.
Putting something small
Yeah.
and round in your mouth to get the high of the nicotine.
And you know,
Talking about cigarettes.
alcohol seems to be the most used when people are self-helping, if you will. Alcohol is like, because what? Alcohol is legal.
It's legal. It's readily available. It's fairly, well, depending on where, it's fairly cheap. It's an easy.
Tell us, Chris, how much is a drink?
I don't know. I don't drink myself.
But that seems to be, you watch movies and you probably know folks, but when they're trying to kill the pain, they're going to the drink. Probably.
Or they say that they're trying to relax. They go for,
Yeah.
I just have a glass of wine. Oh, I just have a bottle of wine. Oh,
That seems like a woman thing. I hear a lot of women, you know, like, hey, my wife had a glass of wine last night. You don't really hear it from guys too much.
It's because wine is seen to be a lot of.
Boone's Farm seems like a guy thing. It's wine.
Wine is
Boone's
made
Farm.
to be seen as like a feminine drink.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe less alcoholic. I don't know.
well, it's more of a fruity drink.
Ooh,
So it's like
I like fruits.
There was a show on, I guess it was NBC years ago, called Scrubs, and they would make fun of the main character all the time because he didn't like the hard liquor like all the big men do. He would always ask for a appletini, which is
I got it.
supposed to be a very
Apples.
fruity drink,
Teeny
but he's
teeny
very
apple.
supposed to make him seem feminine, even though he is a man, a
Manly
straight
man.
man.
A real man. So yeah, although alcohol is a depressant, or whatever problem you have is only going to worsen drinking alcohol.
I can't say that necessarily.
I can because I read it.
You read a lot of things.
It was on
You
Google.
read a lot of things that are wrong.
What makes it true, Chris?
there's only 100 and something.
Do I sound like that? Is that the voice I sound like when I'm speaking?
That's
the
my-
one you just made.
that's my-
I want to
that
hear
is
it
my
again.
voice for you.
I want to hear it one more time. Oh, it's only 100. How'd that go?
That sounds just like
Let me hear it. Go ahead. Oh yeah, video. I'm telling you, we need to video this deal. This deal would go viral.
No, it would not.
So, do you know the difference, Chris? Do you? Because you know we have a.
Do I know the difference between a
Chris?
stimulant and a depressant? Yes.
No, that's not what I was asking. Do you know the difference
Yes.
in hemp and cannabis?
To be completely honest, no, I don't.
Okay,
Explain it to me.
You're fixing to learn.
I'm going to learn something today.
0.3% or less of THC is hemp. 0.3% or higher cannabis. There you go. You learned something today.
So is that why you can find all these quote unquote hemp products and they're completely legal?
They're less than 3% THC.
It's the exact. It's coffee.
Oh, like skunk. That's another word for marijuana. Skunk.
No, that's just. Okay.
That's what I heard in high school. Skunk.
Because that's what
roughly
it's
what
supposed
it
to smell
smells like. Yeah. You know, there's people that love the smell of an actual skunk.
Yes, I know.
I know one.
And I'm not one of them.
No, I know someone close to me that.
I'm close to you, and I'm not.
No, it's not you.
Well, physically,
No.
I'm close to you, so
Hey, no,
I
you're
want to
not.
be a little further away from
No,
you.
you're not. But this person loves the smell of a skunk, and I don't understand it. Don't understand it. Not for me.
Not for
Neither is
me.
marijuana. Do you know anyone that smokes marijuana, or maybe eats
I
the
probably
gummies?
do, but I don't know.
Specifically, you've never had a conversation with someone about marijuana smoking, like your wife, or
I've talked about. Well,
I mean, your wife don't smoke it or anything.
No.
But
there
you
was
don't
a guy-
have anybody close to you that smokes or has smoked.
I mean, when I was in high school, there was a guy that
Who
would.
didn't try it in high school?
I didn't
mean,
try it in high school.
Generally,
No, I had. There was a guy that I went to high school with that he would go home, get high, come back, and come to class.
Yeah,
Leave
show
for
off.
lunch, get high, come back,
show off.
get high right before football practice.
And well, I'm not going to say that.
But no,
Incriminate.
incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there might be people that I know that smoke it or whatever, but I don't know.
You don't. Yeah, that's like prescription drugs. There may be people close to you that's abusing them, and you'll never know.
Nope.
They're just living life, getting high on their own supply.
You like to say that a lot for some reason. Getting high on your own supply.
Now, is that me?
No.
Again? No.
Well, that is you, but
it kind of
was me
sounded
making
like
fun of you.
an
An old witch.
Adam Spade.
Adam Spade? Did you just get Adam Sandler and David Spade mixed together?
That
Those
is
are
if-
two separate people.
If Adam Sandler, David Spade got together and had a child, Adam Spade. Spade. David Spade. That's who that sounded like when you said that.
It sounded more like Adam Sandler. It was a terrible Adam Sandler,
No.
but it sounded more like Adam Sandler.
David Spade. Do it again.
I don't know if I can.
Play it back.
Not right now. We're in the middle of recording.
Why did your voice go up like 9 notches
Because
there?
I like to get It's just something I have, whatever. When people are telling
Everybody
me to do
loves
something
Raymond.
while I'm in the middle of something, I just,
Everybody Loved Raymond was on the other night. And Raymond had been on TV. And his dad was like, you got to make your voice go high and go low. You can't just stay monotone. That's what that made me think of. You made your voice go up. Raymond.
this
funny
is
guy.
radio. What do I do with my hands?
What are I doing with my hands?
I say radio.
So, Chris,
podcast.
if they federally legalize marijuana and you're 65 years old and you're hurting all over, knees hurt, ankles hurt, head hurts, it all hurts, and marijuana is legal, would you try it?
I honestly don't know. If they legalize it today, probably
It's
not.
all hypothetical, Chris.
What I'm going with is, like, if they were to legalize it today,
Let's go for next year.
we're going to go with today.
2024.
If they legalized it tomorrow,
tomorrow. It's not going to happen. But okay.
no. But I probably still wouldn't do it because it's just not for me.
What would you do instead? Because you're going to do something for pain. You're going to take some Aleve, or you're going to take some painkillers, or ibuprofen.
Or live with the pain.
Ooh, that doesn't sound like fun. Now,
No, I mean,
does
it's
it?
like right now I've got a bad ankle I've been walking on.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything for it. I don't want to, because if I start taking something for it and the pain doesn't go away,
You're gonna
or
take
if I
more?
like it, I'm just
Ooh.
going to keep craving it.
Like the pain, or like the
No, like the drug.
oh,
even if you take Aleve or
I do.
ibuprofen,
That's my drug of choice, Aleve.
and if the pain,
You know, long-term use of Aleve, liver problems.
well, that's what I'm getting at,
Mm-hmm.
is even the over-the-counter stuff, or
Ibuprofen. You can say.
ibuprofen or Aleve or any of the stuff, prolonged use of it will hurt you.
Excedrin.
All of it.
You ever know anybody that took Excedrin?
That used to be a popular
It's like a
thing.
grandmother thing, ain't it? I don't know anybody that takes Excedrin.
I don't either.
Excedrin PM for that late night pain.
There's a lot of things that I used to see.
Doobie. There's another one. That just popped up in my head. Doobies.
This is going off the rails.
Cheech and Chong. They made that very popular back in the 70s.
It was popular before Cheech and Chong.
But, you know, the way they...
It became a popular thing in like the mainstream, yes, through them. It wasn't like
Doobies.
potheads weren't a very
Marijuana users were always looked at as, you know,
morons.
flighty, I guess.
Well,
Like zoned out, if you will.
yeah, like
Zoned out.
Tommy Chong. I mean, that's
Yeah.
he plays that character in everything.
That's who he is.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I can remember watching that '70s show. I didn't know who he was, but he played when I first saw him in that show. He played that old stoner guy very well because that's who he was.
Never watched the show. Don't know anything about it. Oh, good.
He was an old pothead that
Yeah.
whenever they would want to get high, they would go to him, and
What about on their own supply?
well, they would buy it from him, so that would be their supply. For
Don't get high off of his supply?
the getting high off your own supply is only when you're selling the stuff.
So, Chris,
So, Mark,
we want to thank everybody for listening.
thanks
Thank
for
you,
listening.
guys. And here's what we want to say. We, as in we.
But you're the one talking.
Yeah. But I'm speaking for the both of us. Right?
Depends on what it is.
Okay. So, if you would text, you as a listener, you would text me the word weed. It's simple.
Weed.
Simple to spell. W-E-E-D. Weed.
What if they put an S on the end?
Awesome. I love it. Put a Z on it. That makes it cool. Weeds. Well, if you text me 615-330-3644, the word weeds with a Z, that makes it awesome.
Or without the Z?
I like the Z. I'm adding the Z. I'm going to text myself a Z.
Well, I text you these things all the time.
You see them
and you tell me it
brownies?
doesn't count.
You see the brownies over at the store?
No.
Brownies with a Z. Like it's going to put you to sleep. Brownies. That's
I don't
special.
go over there all that often.
That's those special special brownies.
Special brownies.
So if you would text me the word weeds to the number 615-330-3644 and give me an idea for a future show, we'll use it. I promise.
We might. I am not guaranteeing anything. This
I
is all on him.
100% guarantee it.
I don't guarantee it. But if you would, please like and share this on whatever platform you're
He's a
listening to
real
on.
uplifter.
If you, it would greatly help us to have more listeners. So if you could share this with your friends,
Like
family,
it. Share it, please. PLZ.
and we will try to do this again
Yep.
another time.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Z.